Hello and welcome to the 6th episode on What If Civilization Started Over. And if you're new to this channel, well, hello. And if you do not know what If Civilization Started Over is, it is an alternate history and eventually future where civilization pops up in a new spot, empires rises, and eventually the empires will fall, until the whole world is mapped out and explored. And before we get into today's episode, please consider liking and subscribing as it means a ton as we're trying to hit 1.5k by the end of this year. But the big event was the Turanian Revolution, eventually establishing the Southern Caspian Republic as the nation will continue to grow, but it is still very unstable. And in today's episode, we're going to be looking at the after effects of what happened and just catching back up with the rest of the world. And so to start off today's episode, we are going to see the king of Uruk, Sargif II, start an invasion into the Southern Caspian Republic, as Sargif will face little to no resistance, as many regions in the Republic will not send any troops, as they feel with their autonomy in the Republic, they can choose if they are going to send troops. And so it will take a long while for Consul Murad to be able to muster a force to start to push back Sargif II, as he's going to do a decisive blow to his forces, as Murad will successfully start to flank Sargif, as Sargif will be successfully flanked and completely be encircled by the larger Murad force. But Sargif II realizes something. Without Murad protecting Turan, the gates are open, as he's going to start to flee, mustering more people who dislike the Republic, as Sargif will muster a force of 30,000 men in enemy territory, as he would flee to the outskirts of Turan. With barely anyone defending the city, he will successfully be able to capture the city, as Murad would continue to chase Sargif II, but Murad would be unsuccessful in taking the city, as Sargif II had garrisoned the city, planning for this exact thing to occur, while Murad's forces will start to turn against him, as the Republic had not led to prosperity, and in fact had led to the economy going on a severe downward spiral, as in fact in the outer reaches of the empire, many areas will start to side with Sargif, even where the revolution began, as in fact up north, we will see the remainder of the old Turanian royal family start to revolt, as they're going to take this entire Kazakh portion, as the state of Uzbekistan will switch sides, as Uruk with other generals will start to invade these regions of the empire, even linking back up with Sargif, while the remaining senators fleeing to Namak will decide amongst one another that they should surrender to Uruk, ending the war, and we can take a look at a treaty. Well, for the first part of the treaty, we are going to see the Khaganate of Turan regain independence in this northern region in Kazakhstan and northern Turkmenistan. And for the rest of the treaty, we are going to see Uruk annex the rest of the entire republic, as the capital of the empire will be moved to Shushtar, as for the first time since episode 1, we are going to see Turan no longer be the capital city. As over here, in the Fertile Crescent, there has been city-states, and these city-states all across here will eventually start to upgrade to nation-states. So let's take a look at these new nations that exist in this area along the Fertile Crescent. As over in the Fertile Crescent, we're going to see all of these new nations form, the most notable of which will be Damascus. As over here, we are going to see Hittilia annex this small region of land. And now going over here to Izmir, after the raids, we saw this region over here leave the nation. And so the Duke of the nation wants to reform the nation's glory. And so he's going to start to invade the nation of Bursa, as he will start the invasion from the north, encapsulating this lake, as he's going to start to move east to where the population is along the river over here. As while he continues, we are going to see Bursa be able to set a defensive line here, stopping them in their tracks, as they will be pushed back along this region, as he will start to besiege the city over here, which will be a long and drawn out conflict. While from the rest of the nation, we're going to see a small force enter Bursa, as their goal is actually to take the city of Bursa, as we're going to see a small army of about 400 men start to push to the city of Bursa, where they will be stopped, as they will be pushed back to their border, as this small region over here will be encircled, and they will be all killed. As over here, this city will fall, as Litis will get involved with the war, starting a small little offense. even taking the river which they were trying to go to. As the defensive line right here, well, they're going to be completely shattered, letting Izmir take this entire area. As once again, we are going to see them start to try to go towards Bursa, now with the force of 2,000 men, and it will be successful as they will burn the city to the ground, as the government will start to flee to this area down here, where Izmir will continue to follow them, but in a astounding defeat, we are going to see them be pushed back over here, as this region over here will fall, as over here Bursa will be split into 2 and eventually 3, with Litis doing the majority of the work now, as they're going to send a force down over here, which will also surprisingly be defeated, as Bursa is trying their hardest not to fall. As over the next few months, maybe even years, these regions will fall to their respective powers of Izmir and Litis. As finally, after probably 3 years of conflict, Izmir will send one more force down, capturing the government, as after a few years of fighting, we're going to see Izmir send a little force down here, which will take the government, causing them to surrender, and we can take a look at the treaty. As in the treaty, Izmir will take the western region of the nation, and Litis will take the eastern region of the nation, completely dissolving Bursa as a nation. While not going far from the region, we're going to see more explorers start to go into Europe, which the forces here will continue to be massacred, as the tribes here are even more deadly than West Thracia. But this will not stop them, as they're going to reach into modern day Hungary and eventually Austria, as they're going to eventually stop around here, while in Italy, exploration has been continuing, as they're going to link up with the rest of the Balkans in the city of Venice. While over here, we are going to see Syracuse discover the rest of Sicily and these islands over here. While over here in Bulgaris, we're going to mainly see Western Thracia annex these 2 tribal confederations, mainly absorbing them, as nations like Serbia will expand, and over here more tribal confederations will start to form, as they're actually going to be in a warring states period, with all of them trying to gain control of this region over here. While in the northern Balkans, it's going to be a lot more peaceful, with Sarajevo and Zagreb forming, as we're going to see West Thracia annex this region of Bulgaris, and Litis will annex this region like Bucharest. And we're going to shift this nation's color a bit to be more brown. While over in Italy, we're going to see bigger nations start to form, as all of them have been more settled for a longer period of time, as they are also fairly rich due to their important region in the central Mediterranean Sea. We are going to see the nation of Syracuse invade this southern Italian state, annexing the entire duchy in only a few weeks. While going over here to Anatolia, we're going to see Hittilia start to get into skirmishes with this brown Anatolian nation, as this brown nation is a pretty poor region, as they're not really focused on developing the interior regions, only focusing on their capital area and the Black Sea coast. So once Hittilia starts to send some troops into the nation, a lot of these central regions have literally no one in there, and any forces they do find surrender over, as Hittilia is a prosperous nation that likes to do inland development. As while they continue, we are going to see the capital city start to go up in flames, as the king's son, who was ostracized from the family, will start a mini revolution just outside of the capital city, as Litis, to restore peace, will just decide to invade the nation, as Hittilia will take the rest of the nation in the south, and we can take a look at the peace treaty. As in the treaty, Hittilia will take the southern region of the nation, while Litis will take a lot of the western portions, as the nation will be left this small little area with the son of the former king in charge. While over here in Tekmen, because it is the Bronze Age, tin is a vital resource, as bronze is a tin copper alloy. And guess what? Tin isn't really found in this region, as tin is mainly found in Central Asia like Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, and even a tiny valley over here. But Uruk will realize that they are sitting on a gold mine, and so they will not sell, as they want to be the only one with good bronze weaponry. And so, being funded by mainly Cyprus and Hittilia, they are going to start to send ships out to try to find a land with more accessible tin to be able to trade it to the known world and to stop the big bronze shortage. As over here, the ship will arrive in Syracuse, where it will resupply, as Syracuse will also start to send some ships in, as the first region they're going to discover will be Northern Africa, mainly Tunisia, as they're going to continue up, landing in Sardinia, as they're going to move up the coast until they find this nation over here, as they realize these were the sea people that raided them all those 200 years ago. And they notice that this island is in pure anarchy. Tribes are fighting each other, as they saw cities in ruin across the coast, as they will leave the sea people alone, as they feel like they've gone through enough and karma has already arrived. As embarking from Sardinia, they will land in Catalonia, as they're going to continue down the coast of Hispania, finding many regions, but they're only really going to find silver deposits, which is what their money is made of, silver. And so we're going to see them continue to explore this area, and don't think this is all happening in one voyage. No, this is happening in several, over hundreds of years, probably not hundreds, but a few decades, as we're eventually going to see a link be made between Iberia and the rest of the known world. As over here, Techman's going to continue to fund expeditions, now not just looking for tin, but looking for other resources, as we're going to see them explore a lot of the coast of Africa, as even a few sailors from Techman will reach the Atlantic Ocean, breaking out of the Mediterranean, as we can take a look at all these areas that were explored by the Techman voyages. As over here will be the regions discovered all across the Mediterranean, and for people thinking this is unrealistic, the Phoenicians did this but better. So no, this is not that unrealistic, as the current year is 1648 BC. And now we can take a look at power rankings. And so the number one country by far is Uruk, as they have inherited the entire southern Caspian Republic. As number 2 will still be Hittilia, as number 3 will be Litis, number 4 in a massive leap will be Alodia, as West Thracia will fall to number 5, while Israel will become number 6, Egypt will stay 7, number 8 goes to the cognate of Turan, 9 goes to Assyria, 10 goes to Jordan, as 11 will go to Cyprus, 12 to East Urmia, 13 to West Urmia, 14 to Syracuse, and 15 to Adriatica. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in episode 8, and bye-bye.